interest of mine from my own personal obsession, I guess, that came from foraging for wild edible mushrooms, led to a lot of reading on mushrooms, and from that I began to really appreciate the all fungi species in a way I'd never had before, sort of thinking really deeply about the role of fungi in the forest. We see these little fruiting bodies, that's what my ecologists call them, what you see popping up on a rotten log or on the floor of the forest is really just a little bit of a much larger organism. And underneath the forest floor is a vast network of what are called hyphal strands, or just little filaments that spread and grow. And this large organism is called the mycelium. And it has a really important, profound role in ecology. And ecologists are starting to really understand much more profoundly the role of mycelium in the forest, because they interconnect, the hyphal strands, mycelia interconnect with the roots of trees, for example, and they form this very specific relationship of actually care and communication, and there's an exchange of nutrients and an exchange of information. It's pretty interesting. It helps us really, I think, value the forest as a community. And I think also helps us pay attention to all these sort of little silent or small things that are going on that are invisible to us. So in my work, after reading quite a bit about mushrooms and thinking about their importance and their beauty, I wanted to make a piece that made visible this, the mycelia, the mycelial mat, something that we walk upon but we don't see. And so in my piece, which is called Elysium, behind us, I am making visible for you the mycelia so you can acknowledge it and think about it. I'm going to speak about the title of the work, which is called Elysium. It's from classical mythology, and Elysium, or the Elysian Fields, are the final resting place in mythology of the heroic. So there's this kind of space that's implied beyond life. And I was thinking a lot about how, of course, like with the crib, we have a sort of very obvious symbol, I suppose, of life, like the beginnings of life, and a bed that sort of makes new life safe and represents birth. But mushrooms, like in fungi, in the long history of life on the earth, are present at the beginning, or birth, and also at the end. Looking forward, and we're in this sort of troubling times that we're living in the fragile state of our planet, we know that mushrooms are symbolic of a hopeful future because they are a very persistent life force. They could provide food, actually, for us in the future. They're opportunistic and resilient, and I think knowing more about mushrooms will be a big part of moving forward.